Okay, everyone, last talk of the conference. Please welcome Florian from Dell.
Thank you. So yeah, 2 days, last talk. Still some energy? All right, I'll try to make it short and sweet and maybe informative. So today I'm going to talk about yet another storage product. So you've seen many today. Open source, and this one is a bit more on the closed source side of the house. So at Dell Technologies, we acknowledge that we live in a multi-cloud kind of world. So I don't know about you, but many of my customers, they have one leg on the public cloud. They have sometimes colo. They have edges location, maybe warehouse, shops, and their own data center. So, you know, for all of these heterogeneous ecosystem. A couple of years ago, the company almost rebooted some of its products to make them multi-cloud by design. So when I say multi-cloud by design, I mean that whatever you are in the AWS marketplace or on the edge or using dedicated appliance, you can deploy and consume some of these data services. So there might be block storage, file, data protections, and so on. The goal is to have like the same type of user experience wherever you are. Benefit from some of the data services that maybe public cloud provider cannot give you. Certain number of IOPS, certain level of resiliency, deduplication, and so on and so on. So with that multi-cloud type of acknowledgement, we are providing solutions, as I said, to be deployed wherever you need, but also solution to move your workloads from one place to another. This is not the purpose of that topic, but the concept is really that wherever you are, you're going to have the same experience. So today, in detail, I'm going to describe a technology that's named PowerFlex, that you can consume wherever you are. It's a block software-defined type of storage that brings you lots of flexibility, agility, performance, and yeah, it's quite well known for his IOPS. The architecture is a bit similar to some of the things you've seen today. You will have nodes, like bare metal nodes, or good old pizza place, or virtual machine if you decide to deploy within these public clouds. On these nodes, you have drives, but you're going to group together for protection, resiliency, and replication. And you're going to create pool. Out of this pool, you create volume that you can consume from your compute nodes. So these nodes can be deployed and used through dedicated storage nodes. We name them SDS. Storage dedicated nodes. You have your client side, which is a client you have to install within your ecosystem. Or you can decide to go with this all-in-one type of architecture, HCI, that we know pretty well. The idea, because this is embedding and connecting on multiple nodes and pool, is that you have kind of multipathing for free and high number of paths. The deployment method for this type of architecture and appliances are either you have compute nodes and storage nodes. So your compute node will be CloudStack in this case. You can also build all-in-one type of stack, hyperconverge, where you have your, again, your 2U PowerEdge servers, all-in-one hosting both storage and compute. And you can mix them. There is no real limit to that stuff. Today, the PowerFlex solution serves storage through block storages, through its client. And there is also an asset in case you need to do NFS for concurrent access. Type of deployments are bare metal nodes, virtual machines, like we're going to demo in a minute within CloudStack, or containers. Actually, all my life I spent with containers. I'm also a member of a Kubernetes storage community. And Dell tries to be a good citizen and contribute back to that ecosystem. Many plugins. Yeah, I forgot in my intro. For pretty much, yeah, for pretty much everything we do, we also have Ansible playbook to manage your stack, Terraform provider, likewise, today if I need to install my client on my bare metal host for CloudStack, I won't go SSH, create a package, or have a homegrown Ansible to install an RPM. We are giving all this toolkit, fully maintained, fully open source, to manage your PowerFlex stack. Plenty of plugins. OpenStack driver, who doesn't want to die? Maybe you'll help with that. CSI drivers for the management of your persistent volume claim directly from Kubernetes. Azure Arc integration, VMware, which was part of a family until recently. So, long story short, for any kind of workload you may want to sustain, any kind of infrastructure you are hosting your workloads, there is automation and integration with it. Something also I forgot to mention, probably the most important information about the multi-cloud approach with Dell Technologies is that you can also embrace the pay-per-use approach. So maybe you will deploy PowerFlex storage within AWS. Of course, you'll be charged for the uptime of the infrastructure. Or you can decide to go with the appliance, plug it into your data center, and likewise, we have model where you're going to pay per use. So kind of a revolution for a company that does infrastructure like Dell. And of course, why we are all here today, we do have a plugin thanks to some of the folks who are in the room. Lift your hand. Thank you. So the goal here is pretty much like with every automation tool, is to give you kind of a seamless integration. One of the value prop of the PowerFlex is that this technology is really snappy. Not only for when it serves storage I/O, but also for the management. I mean, creating 200 volumes in one row from my Kubernetes system, it takes less than a minute. And create the volume, mount them to your container, format it, all the shebang in just a minute for 200 volts. We also have this concept of enhanced data protection because every data is replicated, the usual gig, and a nice and fancy UI. So, without further ado, oops. Second. I'll go through basically all the usual tasks you may have. So as a prerequisite, you need obviously a PowerFlex stack somewhere. The network I/O, the TCP/IP network that is connected to your CloudStack backend, and install this infamous client. Again, you can do it with Terraform, Ansible, Alamano, whatever. So few use cases we do support and have integration with. By the way, I barely speed up the interface here, so good job again, Ari. This is really snappy. Every time you go to the CloudStack UI to create an instant VM, so you create your VM like you are used to, we're going to add to that VM a disk. That disk is literally a block device that's going to be provisioned on the backend. And again, here, this is almost like real time. Poof, creating volume, allocate it. And then, maybe for version 2, we'll have a direct hyperlink from the block device information from the CloudStack UI to the PowerFlex UI. But today, you have to connect the dot yourself. So the information to look back from our side is by using some IDs. So this is my PowerFlex appliance ID at first, and then it's volume block ID. So this is the PowerFlex UI. I have my disk, fin provision, correct size. Other use case, very typical. I'm running a VM and I want to move in from one host to the other. So here again, supported use case. You go to migrate instance. You can do that hot. You select your destination host. Okay. This one is probably the one that takes longer. And And voila. this goes on your new host. So it moved successfully. Snapshot creation. Here, the snapshot are, again, a snapshot created RSite. So when you decide to take a snapshot, it sends via API call to snap your volume. You can obviously restore your snapshot. So again, these are kind of a copy and write type of snapshot, very, very common in that domain. So it will copy the diff, and it's almost instantaneous. For all of this volume, we also have metrics. I don't believe, forgot if I took a video of that, but we also have the metrics and the monitoring built in. This is my snap, second snapshot, and oh yeah, here we go, monitoring. So directly from within your CloudStack interface, we're gonna simulate some I/O. You're gonna see, oh no, yeah, for the monitoring piece, you can check it from the CloudStack UI and as well from the PowerFlex UI. So creating my block device, crunching some FIO. And here we go. You browse the interface and you have your nice little KPIs. So this is the point of view from PowerFlex GUI. Similar type of information can be obtained from the CloudStack interface. IOPS. All right. Next demo. Okay, and we show that, of course, it decreases. It's not fake. Here, you can also create your different storage classes by selecting the custom provider for PowerFlex. The type of information you give here is very common. What's the API endpoint? What credentials should I use? This type of privileges are fairly high to be able to do its job. The default pool. Some tags, and here we go. We have our new primary storage pool that can be consumed. You can move one VM or its storage from one pool to another. So I just created a new, actually I had two pools in my PowerFlex. I mapped it here in the CloudStack. Now I'm going to move the data from that pool to another. This is not so much a topic these days anymore, but let's say you have different type of hard drives, NVMe, SSD, good old HDD. It can be useful also sometimes to move your data set from one place to another. Everything is happening hot, so I didn't have to stop my VM and like remap the volume somewhere. It's all happening live and without any kind of outages. Disk offering. So, yeah, what I liked about the CloudStack is really that the same type of experience you have in cloud providers. You have t-shirt size type of provisioning. You don't give access to all type of parameters. Here we go. We're going to create a new disk offering equivalent to what will be a storage class within Kubernetes. Within that example, I'm enabling the encryption. And I can implement QoS. So again, for each volume, PowerFlex allows to set a maximum and low and high number of IOPS, min and max, and the API maps this. And you can also move one disk from one storage class to another, from one disk offering to the other. This one is not live. You have to detach your volume and move it. Here again, copy-pasting my UID to find who's who. And bingo, I'm in the new location, new pool with settings I configured. And more. I'm sure Ari will develop more features and have deeper integration. Any questions?
questions actually. One, I saw you took a VM snapshot.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that VM snapshots on KVM use the QCOW file. How does PowerFlex do it? Where is the memory stored?
Now it takes only snapshot of a block device. It doesn't take a snapshot of a memory.
I thought it's
so
a
when you
VM snapshot.
When you take a VM snapshot, you have the option to check memory and storage, and yeah, no, it's only
storage. All right, okay. And my second question is, should I want to try PowerFlex, for example, to demo it to a potential customer? What are my options in terms of getting the software?
Very good question. So if you go to dell.com/support, you can download PowerFlex, and it comes with a 30-day license. So you can play around with it for 30 days, and then that locks. Again, I'm selling my products as well with the Terraform providers or Ansible providers. If you are more into Ansible, we have like the playbook that is fully ready. And as a matter of fact, let me show you something else. I'm using this today to demonstrate Kubernetes and PowerFlex. So within that website that documents everything we do CSI related, there is a Instruct Lab. Anybody knows about Instruct? It's interactive live demo. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to launch a stack that behind the scene deploys PowerFlex, Kubernetes, and everything using Terraform and Ansible. So you can go pretty far in terms of automation here.
Okay, but I'm still, just to clarify, I'm not
sure.
being sarcastic or anything. So I'm still kind of limited by having to go on your site, complete the form, download.
Yeah.
I can't just put it in my pipeline, in the Jenkins, whatever, and whenever I want to do my integration.
No. So what you need is you download the RPM once, or whatever other distribution you use. You go download the Ansible playbook to install the whole shebang, and you can put it into your pipeline. The limitation is after 30 days, you have to give us a call and.
Okay. So if I get your automation stack, I don't need to go on the website and complete form.
You need to get the automation, download the RPMs, put them somewhere, and then.
Okay.
So step one.
Okay. So
you do once in your life.
Yeah.
You download the packages. Step 2, you go get the Ansible playbook. Step 3, you put that into your CI/CD pipeline. Step 4, you call Dell for a license. Within 30 days. Extremely smooth.
I saw that you said that PowerFlex supports also not only KVM but also vSphere.
Yeah.
First question is integrate to work with CloudStack with VMware as well. The second question is, if it works, is it possible to run a mixed hypervisor environment in UCI model, for example?
That's an excellent question, and I doubt I have the correct answer, to be honest with you, because within the vSphere today, it's fully automated through vVols and everything. I don't know. Ari, what do you think about that question? I don't know. KVM. Any more questions?
Which version of PowerFlex you are using? Maybe we can update the docs accordingly.
Yeah, so for that, like, it was PowerFlex 3.6. Latest is 4 something, but it's all, the API is really backward compatible. So if you use API calls, REST API calls, the usual ones, it will just work.
So the backward compatibility is there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Get it?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Better check for some questions online. So I thought you had more to go there. You caught me off guard there. Let me just check and see if there are any questions online for you. Okay. Oh, from our old friend Suresh. What PowerFlex storage and volume configuration or features are missing in CloudStack integration? What can be added in CloudStack to leverage PowerFlex functionalities?
I think the NAS provisioning is not there today. So, as I said, there is a NAS head you can have on top of block storage, and the automation of that part is not there today.
Okay, thank you. And does PowerFlex integration support shared persistent volumes for CKS?
So, like concurrent access, you mean? I don't know what CKS is, but
Kubernetes, CloudStack Community service.
RWX, read write many. So to get concurrent access, basically, at least I can talk about Kubernetes. If you use raw block device, so you will mount your PVC as a raw block, yes, this is supported. If you use file type, volume mode file system, then you need a file system that supports concurrent access, and you give that through NFS.
Andrea?
Thanks. Just a short one. What's the amount of time/effort if you have obviously an existing PowerFlex cluster to export an NFS so that we can actually, from CloudStack perspective, use that NFS as the secondary storage, because we have to use a basic NFS. So we go only with PowerFlex. We don't need another white box for NFS, basically, or.
I mean, it's super easy. Again, we've done it for the API, for the Ansible provider. So there is an API call for that to create the export. And basically, you just need one NAS endpoint, from what I've seen. And again, we do that all the time within the Kubernetes ecosystem with CSI, where it creates the export and mounts and everything. It's not a complex task.
Related to the previous question, is the NAS endpoint something that is integrated in PowerFlex, or is it something that the operator needs to, perhaps it's like a separate server or separate VM that we need to install? And then
no, this is within the appliance, but that's an extra service on top of block services. So within this PowerFlex version 4, it's actually, everything is deployed through a small Kubernetes cluster. So you don't manage your Kubernetes cluster, but behind the scene, the appliance is a Kubernetes cluster, and it enables the pods to deploy and manage the NAS head.
Oh, all right. So in short, for my own clarification, it can natively do NFS.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. Any more questions for Florian? Okay, Florian, thank you very much.
That's a wrap.